Hey there, corporate misfits, and welcome to the series Mastering Kajabi in 21 Days. I'm so excited to share with you about how you can use Kajabi in your online coaching, your course creation, or membership business so that you can build a life of freedom and stop trading time for money. So if you are new around here, my name is Brittany Darrington, and I'm the founder of the Corporate Misfit community, and I help women to build their online business using platforms like Kajabi so that they can automate, create sales with ease, and ultimately build their courses and coaching business and sharing their expertise with their tribe. So in this series, we're going to talk all about how to use Kajabi inside and out, the perks of using Kajabi, and how it can really change your life. So if you have not tried out Kajabi yet, I do have a trial which supports this channel. And also you can get some amazing resources such as landing pages that we have designed for you, such as sales pages, thank you pages, opt-in, and also some registration and tripwire pages. In addition to that, you can get access to our mini training, which is our beta launch club, which allows you to learn how to launch an online course or a coaching business in just 30 days. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right into what we're going to talk about in today's lesson. Let's get this party started because I'm talking all about how you can use email within Kajabi to ultimately grow your email list, to create automation, really get your hands off the keyboard, and so much more. So I'm going to share some different things that go beyond just setting up an email sequence or setting up a live broadcast. Instead, I want to show you some different automation options that you can do to help you to grow your email and also put some places in, some systems in place so that ultimately, while you're sleeping, while you're doing other things in life and staying in your zone of genius, your email system is working on the back end for you. So if you are new to Kajabi, what you're going to do is you're going to make your way to the marketing section. There, you're going to find email campaigns, and that's where we're going to get started. So when you go to email campaigns, you have multiple things that you can do. You can create a new email sequence, or you can go to creating a broadcast. So one thing I want to do is I want to get started with some different things that you can do on broadcasts that might not be obvious to you at first. So when you go to email broadcasts, this is where you're going to be sending out some sort of live email. It could be a newsletter that you send out weekly. It could be an announcement that you have. You can grab some of these templates that Kajabi provides for you and then customize them to your brand. So once you find what you're looking for, you're just going to click on that. I'm just going to grab this simple text right now, and I'm going to go to get started, and I'm going to plug in a name for this particular broadcast. So ultimately, I just called mine Test Kajabi. And now what's going to be happening is that Kajabi is putting this all in place, and it will ask who will receive this broadcast. Now, what usually happens is a lot of people try to do all people, members, things like that. But if you don't know who's a member and who's in custom segments, then you'll need to really go back and look at your tags accordingly so that you can properly include this information here. So let's say I had a custom segment. I only wanted certain people to receive this email, such as if you had a specific a tag associated, if you had things along those lines, I want you to receive this specific type of email. You can go to select filter, and then you can basically go to where it says tags. So we're going to just scroll. So we can have any of these forms. You can say anyone who has opened these emails, has any of these products, has any of these tags, things like that. You can really go through and identify which one would be the best for you. The reason for this is because then it helps you to be able to identify who's going to get the specific email and who's not. So go through and just really look at what is going to be the best way for you to determine who's going to get this email and who's not. So if they filled out this form, if they've completed this assessment, or if they own this product, or if they have any of these offers, if they use this coupon code, if they subscribe to an email list, maybe they are registered for an event, things along those lines, that's how you're going to be able to identify the tags. Unfortunately, there are no tags that you're seeing right here, but once you create your tags in your actual system and you start to have people with tags associated, then you will see that appear here. Okay, so then once you have what you're looking for, you can save and continue. You can even preview your people who are going to be in this particular segment and then save and continue. And now Kajabi will let you now make your way to the actual place of where you're going to launch your particular email. All right, internal. This is where this is only for you. Maybe it helps you to better understand what this email is about, so you can put some notes here, but this is not going to be seen by your customers. Now, the subject line and the preview line will be seen by your customers, so keep that in mind. Play with a fun, catchy headline so that you can get what you need and ultimately get people to open their emails. From here, you can have some really cool recommendations. So let's just say I type in something really long. Hello. Check out this free giveaway or something, free template. Okay, so as you can see, Kajabi's going to provide, I use the word free for a reason. What you want to do is you want to make sure you don't spam or like trigger things that are going to go in the promotion stamp. So make sure you look at some of the notes that Kajabi is providing so it can help you to ensure that your emails are going to the actual right folder, which is primary for a lot of the people who use Google and Yahoo. So check that out. And they'll also just give you some suggestions on how you can make those better if need be. Now, once you have that done, you're going to go to launch your email editor. And from here, you can basically start decorating your email. Please check out some of my other videos that have to do with decorating your email and getting your newsletter set up. But what I really want to talk to you today about is this fun feature, automations. So basically, this is something that a lot of people forget to use. If this email is opened, sometimes you want to know if someone either clicked on that or you want to know, like maybe you register for an event automatically because maybe they're already on your email list and you don't want to have them having to go and opt into a whole new thing because you don't have this in a place to where it's in automation. So if you've ever seen some of those emails where it's like, hey, join me in this upcoming event tomorrow, click yes if you're going to save your seat. And it doesn't necessarily make you opt in. It's because they're doing an automation on the back end similar to this. So basically, when this email is opened, if you wanted to be notified or if you wanted to grant an offer, if you wanted to tag them, if you wanted to send another email, things like that, you can. But one thing I like to do is if I'm hosting something and I don't want my subscriber who's already on my email list to be having to go through a whole complete form in order to sign up for an event or sign up for some of the things that we're having, then what I would do is go to whenever they click on a specific link, let's say I had a link in that email, once they click on this link, then I'm automatically going to add a tag. I'm going to send an email. I'm going to either register them for an event. I'm going to do these things that ultimately allow me to be able to automate in the back end without my customers having to take so many action steps to get to where they need to go. Now you can add multiple conditions. So after they do that, you can add another condition, which will allow you to then subscribe to something. It can go to an email sequence. It can go to a specific form. I mean, just so many things can happen. And it's important that you come through and actually just read what would be the best option for the people who are going to be taking action if they were to click a link and selecting the best option for them. And then once you're done, hit save. So the really cool part is, let's remove this then. Subscribe to an email sequence. So let's say I'm going to automatically just subscribe into an email sequence. Once they actually click on a link, then go to an email sequence. I might even then add a tag. So let's go ahead and add some more to this because most likely you're going to have more than just one condition. And if you only have one condition, that's fine. But if you're really trying to make it to where it's fully streamlined and you don't have to worry about certain things, you probably would go about it this way. So let's go to, let's actually change this one. We're going to add a tag first. Once we add a tag, we're just going to create a tag if you don't have one, signed up for event. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit create. So I know I have a little typo right there, but we're going to keep it moving. I am going to show you something and not be worried about perfection. So signed up for the event. So signed up for event there. And then now we're going to add another condition. This condition is going to now basically register them for an event or subscribe them to an email sequence or something along those lines where it's taking next steps. So now I'm going to go to let's go to an email sequence. We're going to subscribe them to an email sequence that will basically give them what they're needing versus them having to go and opt into a form if that's what we're looking to do with this automation. So now that I have that, I'm going to hit apply. So basically now this is all kind of connecting the dots, but once someone is to basically click on this link, we're then going to have a tag associated that says signed up for the event. And then we're going to also have a email sequence that's going to trigger automatically once they basically click on that particular tag or that particular link. So it's applying right now. We're going to go ahead and just hit save. And so now you can see this is happening. Since I did not let it sit for as long as it needed to because the applying was taking too long, you would normally see the if right here, but ultimately you want to just go through and have when someone does something, then this happens. And if they do that, then it helps to be able to create a full automation for your customers. And it just helps you to get your hands off the keyboard so that you're not having to have them go through all these different sequences, remove them from sequences and all that kind of stuff. So there you have it there. Okay, so now I want to talk to you about some other things that you can do with your emails to help you to grow your email list and more. So now I'm going to make my way back to email campaign. And this time I'm going to make an email sequence. So let's go to email sequence. We're going to just create a new one. Continue. Email sequence is what I grabbed. I'm just going to use the classic editor for right now. And basically, if you are wanting to send an email out to someone right away, as soon as they opt into the sequence, instead of it being 1, you're going to make it a 0. So that now shows immediately after someone opts into the sequence. And then you can have your internal title. And then you can have your real title that your customers will have. Okay, so now I have that. Now we're going to plug in whatever that body is going to be for that email sequence. Cool. Rocking and rolling. We're going to hit save. Now we're going to hit save. And the great thing is, just like we did with the actual broadcast, you can do the same thing with your actual email sequence. So if someone were to click on the link, then we can either, one, if that email's sent, or if they open the email, or if they click on a link, then you can have them go to specific things. You can tag them, you can grant an offer, an email, a coupon, things like that. That just helps you to be able to, again, create some automation. Some of the other cool things that you can do is you can make your way to settings. And this, again, helps you to keep your email list clean to where someone's not getting so bombarded with 1,005,000 emails. But ultimately, where it says internal title, you can change that title for you, but you can also go to where it says email sequence exclude, where don't send this person an email or don't email subscribers who have this particular offer. It just allows you to ensure that they're not getting something that they don't need. So you can go ahead and plug in some of the email sequences or forms that you don't want other people to see within this email sequence if they were to opt into something else, as well as if they were to purchase a product. Maybe they're in a onboarding welcome email sequence, but once they purchase, you want them to be out of that because they're going to be getting onboarding emails and things like that. So you want to remove them from that particular sequence so that they're not getting bombarded. And so sending times, this is going to allow you to send emails at a specific time if that works for you within your sequence. And then that automation. So after someone were to go through this workflow, maybe you want them to go to the next email sequence, or maybe you want to register them for an event. Whatever the case may be, once this particular email sequence is complete, you can add more things to help guide your customer on their journey. So it's a really great way for you to just play around and grow your email list and really take control of the journey that your customers are going to go on versus just having them sign up one time, go through an email sequence, and that's the end of it. You want to take more steps and take action in order for them to be able to really connect to your tribe and get the most value of what it is you have to offer within your zone of genius. Okay, so now I want to talk to you about growing your email list, because a lot of times what usually happens is people get stuck in this area. They start playing around with sequences and live broadcasts and they get overwhelmed and then they just don't follow through. So Kajabi has some really amazing pipelines that will allow you to get started with just growing your email list. So if you are new to email list building, it's not familiar to you, you don't know how this whole thing works, I want to show you a cheat sheet on how you can get this up and going in no time. So let's go to new pipeline. And the really cool thing is pipelines is going to be listed. There's going to be several different blueprints that Kajabi provides for you. I'm just going to go to the freebie for right now. And this allows for an opt-in, an email to be delivered, and then a thank you to say, here you go. And so now when I click create pipeline, the really great part is now Kajabi's just going to go ahead and plug in this particular funnel. I like to call them funnels. People call them pipelines, whatever you choose to call them, cool. But they're going to go ahead and put this blueprint in place for your funnel so that be able to build this out and start to build your email list in no time. So you can give that freebie. It could be a lead magnet, such as a guide. It could be a video. It could be audio. It could be a quiz. It could be, maybe a masterclass that you're having or some sort of webinar, things like that. But ultimately, you can get started with decorating that and customizing it to your business. But what's happening behind the scenes, which is why I want to show you this particular pipeline. Again, I talk more about pipelines in some of my other videos, but I want to show you specifically, this email is already connected to your opt-in. And so once someone opts in, it goes straight to your actual email and you don't have to worry about how does this all work? How do I make this all connect and talk to each other? Because it will do that for you in pipelines. Some other things to keep in mind is when you're creating forms for your opt-ins, let's say you're creating a form for maybe just for your website or anything like that. When you create a new form, again, because our goal is to make sure that you have kind of those hacks to be able to properly grow your email list. You can, one, have your opt-in settings. So you can go to double opt-in, which is recommended. You can go to single opt-in where you don't have to have this double confirmation. And then you can add form fields. But again, going back to what we're really concerned and focused on is making sure that your automation is set up on your back end of your forms, on your emails, and it could be live broadcast, it could be sequence, all that good stuff. You want to make sure that this is taken care of and really solid so that then as people go through this journey, they're not in all these different places or receiving so many different email sequences if you have multiple opt-ins like I do and things along those lines. So then they would go to whatever happens next. Maybe you tag them, maybe you send them an email, maybe you subscribe them to an email sequence, maybe you grant them an offer, and then you start to save and add those automations in. So this is really going to help you to quickly grow your email list because you can start to really customize who's receiving what email and whatnot and more. So go and play with your automations. I know this is more about how do I get my emails and how do I grow, but these automation hacks will help you to do just that because ultimately, as you have someone going through a specific sequence, maybe you want to send them to another sequence, which provides an upsell and things along those lines. Or maybe you want to give something in return for someone clicking and taking action so that they're quick to go and buy your product or your service or learn more about you or your business in order to grow your tribe. So let me know what you're doing to grow your email list. Let me know if you're using Kajabi below for email. And if so, if you are not familiar with automation, let me know what you're going to do first in order to be able to take action to grow your email list overall. Okay, corporate misfits, there you have it. I can't wait to see what you accomplish with your automation to grow your email. Thanks so much for watching this video and make sure you access your trial to Kajabi and those free amazing resources that we have for you, such as the pre-designed landing pages and the mini course on how to launch your first course in just 30 days. Okay, I'll see you in some of the upcoming videos.